Time for our own debate right now. Let's welcome in President of American Principles Project, Terry Schilling, and Editor-in-Chief of National Memo, Joe Conason. Gentlemen, thank you very much for returning to Wake Up America Weekend. You know we enjoy having you on. We enjoy your insight. I might not agree with everyone's opinion, but I do agree your insight, and I want to hear what you have to say. So, Terry, I'll start with you. Do you think that the Democrats stand a chance against Trump with Biden as the nominee after this debate performance?
Well, thanks so much, Mike. Listen, I think that it's way too early to say that it's, the curtains are closing on Joe Biden. I think he had a bad debate performance. I think that there was really no new information given. I think that the degree of Joe Biden's cognitive decline was exposed to a much greater extent than even I realized. But I think a lot of this stuff is already baked into the cake, very similar to how there was very little movement in the national polling and in the swing state polling after Donald Trump's 34 convictions. I don't think that much has changed. We'll have to see, according to the public polling in the coming weeks. But I think it's way too early to count Joe Biden out.
Listen, I think you made a great point there. A lot of this may already be baked into the cake. So, Joe, I'll come over to you. Does it worry you that the media, usually CNN and MSNBC, they kind of cover for the president? I mean, just 2 weeks ago, they were saying he's sharp as a tack. He's never been sharper. They had person after person saying how sharp the president is. It's just not true, and Thursday kind of proved that. Do you think the media is pulling away from Biden?
Well, clearly, Mike, some in the media have shifted on Biden. I mean, the New York Times has been running piece after piece after piece, urging him to drop out. But Terry's right. You know, the polls don't show any big movement after the debate. And in fact, fewer people watched this debate than in the past. I think Trump's absolutely dishonest performance did not do him a lot of good. And, you know, the Morning Consult poll the day after the debate showed that Biden had gained a point. It had been tied before, and it was at 44-44. Amazingly, I have to admit. And it went up to 45-44 the next day. You know, 538 did a poll with Ipsos the day after, showed, you know, almost no gain for Trump. And
well, what
Biden's
did you
still
think?
ahead.
How do you think Joe did?
You know, I don't know. I do know, yes, certainly among pundits, the mood has changed. The people you showed there were not on the left particularly. I mean, Scott Jennings is a Republican. He's not, and he never liked Joe Biden. So when you show Scott Jennings to me and say, "Oh, the left is changing," well, no.
No, all of CNN, all of CNN and MSNBC, just about every anchor they had on said it was a terrible debate.
Well, most, you're right. Most of them did, but the media doesn't decide this.
No, I agree.
The voters decided, and Terry's right. The polls have not changed, and you know, the next day Biden sounded fine. I don't know what happened that night. They said he had a cold. He's, as he said himself, he's older, he's slower, but he still has a good record. And Trump just lied incredibly for
I got to get Terry back in there. You know. Terry, take it away. I'll let you speak about it. I think Joe lied quite a bit, but go ahead.
You know, I wake up early every Saturday morning with the hope that Joe and I are finally going to agree on something. And this was the first Saturday. I'm thinking, holy cow, we agree. And then he just goes on offense against Trump saying he lied. Let's be very clear. There was one person that made no sense and that did nothing but tell lies. He brought, Biden was brought up the same week that Snopes and the AP did the fact check about the very fine people on both sides of white supremacists.
Can we take one example?
The same week, hold on. Joe, come on, I'll let you talk. Okay. The same week that Snopes did a fact check on the Charlottesville situation where the media said that Trump said that there were very fine white supremacists and neo-Nazis there, they did the fact check showing that was not true. Joe Biden used that as an attack in the debate. I mean, come on. We got to get past
CNN
this. This
covered,
is so divisive.
Let me get Terry back. Go ahead.
Compare the CNN list of lies that Trump told. If you're going to quote CNN, to the list of falsehoods they attributed to Biden, it's not even close. But Trump sat there and said everybody wanted Roe versus Wade overturned. Every expert thought Roe v. Wade should go and the states should decide and all that. And everybody, Trump himself knows that's not true.
All right, unfortunately, ding, 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 back to your corners. Okay. We're going to have to have you back to continue. We're going to have you back to continue, guys. Terry Schilling, Joe Conason, thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.